Okay, don't get up. I'll get the light. So welcome to home movie night. 1950s style. The projector screen out of the garage and set up, and the noisy old projector with the latest movie on it. The movie, however, was made in 1954, which makes it 56 years old now. And movie film is a medium that starts to deteriorate right with the very first use, and continues to do so over time until eventually the image is completely washed out and not viewable at all. This is why it's essential for people out there with home movie collections to think about transferring your film to a digital media, such as a DVD. It's a great way to save precious memories from your past, as well as preserve the history of your family for future generations. So, how do you go about it? You could tell by looking at it that this is the side that has to face forward for it to project correctly, so that's the way you want to put it in. And of course you don't want to put it in there with your fingers, because your fingers could leave a smudge on the glass and affect the quality of the picture. And make sure it's homed in there in place. If I'm going to record on the camcorder, I want to make sure I do it in SP.
If you do, set it to SP
That's the best
speed
quality.
for the best quality.
And the audio mode should be
16-bit for
16-bit.
sound film. Well,
Next
now
we
I'm
want
going
to
to
set the
adjust my
exposure
camcorder
settings.
shutter speed. That's this icon, AES.
This setting is to influence the shutter
The
speed.
default is usually 90,
As you can
and if
see,
I
there's a
bring
lot
it
of
down,
flicker
you'll
going
see the
on.
flickering start to
We
slow
want to
down
bring the
some
shutter
more.
speed down
60
and
is
try
as
to
low as I
minimize the
can go
flicker
on
as
this
much as
camcorder.
possible. Okay, now it's time to do the projection for real. On goes the projector. You can see we have our image. And now when I make my adjustments to focusing, remember, I'm not going to touch this camcorder. This camcorder is set in place. The focus is already determined, and that's where it's going to stay. Any refocusing will be done through the projector only. And now I'll double check the focus. This is probably as good a focus as you can get. And you'll notice that the blips in the screen create little bitty blotches, and they all have sharp edges. If they have sharp edges, you're in as good a focus as you can get. Okay, so as you saw in the transferred video, there was a flicker problem, and the flicker problem occurs because the camcorder tries to capture at 30 frames a second, while a projector puts out the signal at 18 frames a second, and they just didn't get in sync with each other. There's absolutely nothing special about this machine. It's an everyday run-of-the-mill Bell & Howell projector, an early model, late 40s, early 50s, 18 frames a second, manual focus, and hardly any speed control. Nothing fancy about it. And the way to manage flicker in a machine like this is to physically take it apart and go in there and change the speed. Well, with the modifications done, it's time to put our film back in and see what difference it made in the projection quality. I'm going to center my shot. Make sure I'm getting the picture I want. Well, now that we've captured the video with the modified projector, we can go back and look at the old video and compare the two. Well, as you saw, there was a big difference in the quality of the film taken from the modified machine. Finishing that, you can put the Start Capture button. Now, looking at your capture window, as the projection process goes on, you can see there's a gap at the top and an equal size gap at the bottom. And there's a good reason for that. It allows your movie to be seen on both the new style and old style screen formats of the movie I'm working on. I call it movie reel number. So I'll open that title, and you see generically it says home movies. So I'm going to change that to Buyer Family Home Movies. Now, with all of our effects added to the movie and the soundtrack in place, we're going to go and play it back and see what it looks and sounds like. This is the beginning of the movie. So if I head back to the opposite end of the movie, we'll be able to see what the end of the movie looks and sounds like as well. Well, this movie is pretty much ready to go. So now I'm going to go into my Make Movie function and look for my movie. There it is right there. Open it. Now everyone has their preferences on what cable to use. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to make it simple, and I'm going to use the 3-prong AV cable. Of course, I input my cable here. I'm going to input the signal into my DVD burner with composite cable, video, and stereo audio, since we now have a music track. I'm going to put my input cables in, video here, audio here. And then, of course, once our movie's on the disc, we go through the finalization process. So we'll go down and finalize our disc. Now that our disc has been finalized, we can eject it. And what was on the reels of film is now on this disc. So we start up our video. And instead of projector noise, we have a music track. Well, there's a lot of people out there that will tell you that a direct video transfer like this can't work, that you need a very expensive frame-by-frame method. This seminar showed you that that's not true. You can do it. You can do it as an amateur. You can do it as a pro. And you can charge a fee. For the Video Lab, I'm owner Bill Moore, and I hope you got everything you need from this training seminar to practice this fun specialty.